Hey, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create an in-house automated PPC system with control, designed for organic growth and profit. So who's this for? This training is for Amazon brand founders, generating at least $10,000 per month in revenue, has a desire to create an automated in-house PPC system to buy back their time, to focus on organic rank and growth, which will lead to profit. Those that are ready to scale their PPC automation as the business grows without increasing additional workload, and just wants to learn once and for all how to rank on Amazon. So why listen to me? So first off, my name is Anthony. I exited a 7-figure Amazon brand in 2020. And I've been through essentially the exact pain that most of you have probably gone through. I've built an automated PPC system, which at the time was managing about 30 SKUs across all the marketplaces. So grand total, we're probably talking about well over 150 SKUs with full exposure. And I did that with just about an hour a week of optimization. So that's not to say that I lost control. I knew exactly what was happening, and I set targets, but I created a system that allowed me to be able to optimize my PPC and my organic growth at scale. So on top of that, I spent thousands of dollars on controlled experiments to get a really deep understanding of organic rank. So I feel like that's, based on that experience, it's really put me in a position to help founders fix this issue right here. Essentially being able to automate your PPC, but also do it in a way where you have full control and you're able to rank on Amazon through this system. So here are a couple of results that I've worked from various Amazon brands I've trained with my systems. So this is a screenshot where it's going to show sales, profit, organic orders over time. So one thing that I like to really focus on is organic ranking growth. So essentially just spending money in the right areas. So you'll notice in many of these cases, you can see that sales and profit begin to grow as we implement the system. So in this case, we implemented at the beginning of February. And over the next few months, we've been able to grow this account quite substantially. Or in other words, I've actually trained the staff to be able to perform and operate at this level. So my number one important metric here is organic orders. So when you see this number go up, this essentially means that we are starting to rank and no longer have to rely so much on pay-per-click. And it's generally the same story as we kind of look through all of these case studies. You'll see organic orders increase, but at the same time, because of that, sales, profit, and profit margin, tacos goes down. Everything just kind of improves as we go through this. Here's another example here. So we're seeing an increase in profit here. Organic orders, again, increases. This one here is a little bit of a different special case. This brand wanted to maintain a higher price, which means that they could not hold their organic rank. However, they weren't profiting how they would want to. So what we ended up doing is started to cut spend on areas that didn't move the needle. So in this case right here, this did not help. The rank was falling as the price was risen. However, it was just a keyword that we could not compete in. And it's mainly because the cost per click was too high. So as a result, we scaled down their PPC, which then translated to an increase in profits. And then just a couple more examples. Essentially, as we turn on the system, focus our efforts on organic orders, we see the same pattern. Organic orders go up, sales, profit. Same thing here. Organic orders slowly rises. This one was a bit of a slower improvement. However, it's an improvement nonetheless. You can kind of see profits have continually grown and have trended as time has gone on for this brand in particular. So these were the results from a frustrated, underserved market. Let me explain what I mean by that. So there are generally two paths to PPC. You're either hiring an agency, or you're building an in-house PPC system, or you're using some sort of PPC software that's running your entire business. There's a couple problems with that. So let's start off with hiring an agency. Generally, when you hire an agency, the founders of these agencies are generally skilled, but their skills usually don't translate to their account managers. So you may have been jumped on a call, sold that the founder was very knowledgeable and could execute. However, it's usually never the case as soon as they hire or you get assigned an account manager, and the performance is just not there. On the other hand, as these agencies begin to grow, their time starts to be spread too thin, which means you get less and less attention, and you lose out on growth because of the limited attention that you get. Also, agencies in general, or pay-per-click agencies in general, usually lack the skill or expertise to really learn how to rank on Amazon. I usually find it's founder-led, so which makes it even harder because you can fix your PPC all you want. However, you might be spending money on organic targets that you'll never ever rank for. So in that case, then becomes wasted ad spend. And without really digging into the organic rank side, it's really hard to actually optimize your PPC to its full potential without seeing both sides of the story. So then when founders don't go to an agency, they might have tried to either use a PPC software to run their entire system or have created their own in-house PPC system. The problem here is generally, as a founder, you have many hats, so you really lack the time and expertise to really execute on this. PPC is simple. However, there is a learning curve to really understand what you need to do and what levers you need to pull in order to maximize all your PPC efforts. And then the other problem with PPC softwares is in most cases, they're built by the founders of those software companies, which are then become their own rules, and then you lack the control on when you're trying to build your own in-house PPC system. So generally, in both of these pathways, you generally will have a founder who ends up being disappointed and frustrated. I know because I've been there, and it always seems to be a never-ending loop where you just kind of repeat the same mistake as you kind of go back up and then decide, okay, what am I going to do now? What's the next agency I'm going to hire? Or what's the next PPC software I'm going to implement? So all in all, generally never really works. So that's kind of the gap or the underserved market that I kind of found. So I just thought, what if there was a better way? And that's kind of where AdsCrafted was formed. So I'm the founder of AdsCrafted, and essentially this is what I do. I help Amazon brands create an in-house automated PPC system. I say 95% because the other 5% is control. And this entire system is designed for organic growth and profit. So essentially, what I've learned in my old brand, the one I exited, I took all that knowledge and I packaged it as a training program, which has ultimately fixed the problems of building your own in-house PPC system. So essentially, founders no longer need to invest the time nor the expertise to create this PPC system because I've already done it. They no longer have to find the perfect software because I've already found it, and I've already perfected the automation rules in order to achieve an automated system that's roughly around 95%. So more on this on-demand training program. I've packaged it in a membership site, and I have a few support systems or channels. So within this system, I've created group coaching calls. I've built a custom-built toolkit, which essentially can perform high-level PPC audits that are very in-depth, can perform bulk operations, and so on. We have a community, and also I make myself available for consulting as well. So let's dive a little bit into the on-demand training program so you can kind of see what you kind of get within this. So I built this in a way to go from as beginner as you possibly can to all the way to as advanced. So it should work for most founders. So in the basic section, you'll learn the fundamentals of PPC, and then you'll learn what the most important KPIs are and what to focus on and why. So you'll notice within the training, I explain everything, and I should answer essentially every why and my reasoning for it. So because I believe that the fundamentals are the most important, so I really try to focus on the understanding of how PPC works and the strategies that are involved. So that's kind of a segue into module 2, where I talk about taking those fundamentals and then converting them into strategies and why they work, what makes an ideal campaign structure and why, and then learning all the effective PPC strategies, bidding, targeting, throttling. So in my opinion, this is generally where most agencies get to. They've perfected a PPC strategy that they're performing. However, that's as far as it can get. They're not really looking at the organic rank side at the depth that a founder would need to. So that's kind of where, if you can get up to this and get a full understanding of that, then you'll probably perform just as well as any agency out there. Module 3. So, of course, you may have the strategies and the fundamentals of PPC. However, you need to create a system that will allow you to optimize your PPC and change the goalpost for each type of campaign, each strategy, and so on. So that's what this entire section is about. I'm going to break down each campaign, their strategies, and how I make data-driven strategy adjustments to kind of steer the ship. So you can think of this as, if you've identified keywords, targets that can rank, then we're going to treat the strategy there is a ranking campaign. However, if they can't rank, then the strategy changes. We no longer are in rank mode, we're in profit mode. So being able to apply these strategies at scale is kind of why the system works so well. And this is why your ad spend is being spent in the most efficient and effective way, because it's only being spent on targets that are going to move the needle. Module 4 and 5, they will cover PPC automation and transition. So I've provided the PPC automation rules, as well as a way to transition from your current system to an automated system. So this is what will get you to take all the PPC strategies that you learn here and apply it in an automated fashion to achieve that 95% automation that I spoke about earlier. And then module 6. So this is probably where most founders will make most of their money. And this is the other piece of the puzzle that I find most PPC agencies lack. So we go through and teach various systems. So within here, we're going to start off by learning how to validate keywords. We're going to learn how to apply the ranking criteria, how to launch with pay-per-click in the most organic, rank-friendly way. We're going to learn how to track organic ranks so you know what levers to ultimately pull. And then we're going to learn when you can or can't win and change the strategy to maximize profit. So I'll kind of run through an example here. We'll do a little bit of training to get an understanding of what you learn here and how you can apply it to a real life example. So here is a organic ranking chart over time from November all the way to the end of April. This is a real example of a target or a keyword that was rankable, where we found an opportunity and we began to read the levers, so we knew exactly what to do. So we validated the keywords. So there's going to be a bunch of arrows here that are going to show how we applied many of these topics to the actual organic ranking chart. So right here we have identified, hey, we don't have a lot of visibility, but we have the ability to rank on this. So we validated that this is a good search term. We activated the ranking campaign on February 2nd, and then we began to watch the ranking fluctuate. So this is one of those trends that happen within the organic rank. We continue to watch it until it reaches a time of stability. So right here is a time of stability. Right here is a time of stability. But something happened in the middle of this rank stability. We had a drop in organic rank. Just by looking at the competitors, we were able to identify one competitor in particular that dropped their price by 50% because they were in the process of relaunching. So what we ended up doing is we just kept their spend steady, and we just kind of waited this one out. And lo and behold, right here, this is when this competitor then raised their prices back to normal, and we instantly got our rank back. From here, you can kind of see we were stable between 5 and 3 for a few weeks. What ultimately happened with this keyword was we dropped the price down by roughly about $5 because the profit could support it. And ultimately, the product's conversion rate improved enough to allow a number 1 ranking, which then they ultimately got Amazon's choice. And that one decision ended up being roughly about a $1 million run rate. So being able to read these charts is really, really important because it can have substantial impact if you know what you're doing. So that's essentially the idea and the level of detail that I go through within the course. So why does this PPC system work so well? PPC is automated and performs as good as any competent PPC agency. This allows us to refocus our time to go after keywords where we can gain organic rank. And then from there, we utilize the system to make data-driven strategy adjustments and then spend money on what actually matters. So ultimately, we create efficient and effective ad spend. So every dollar that you spend has a purpose. So when we focus on organic rank, and our ad spend ultimately becomes very efficient and effective, this is the general result. Well, ACOS will fall, organic growth will increase, so organic orders, sales increases, profits increase because we have more organic rank, tacos decreases and profit margins go up because we're spending very efficient on our PPC and organic growth improves. So this can be seen in all the case studies that I kind of went through. So in every case that I talked about earlier in this training, I highlighted the importance of organic orders and how they consistently increase, which ultimately fixes all the other KPIs here. So that's kind of why I strongly believe this system works, because we're focusing our time on the right areas. So I believe in the system and I would put money on it. So I'm going to make a promise to you. If after 60 days, if you purchase my training program, you put in some sort of effort that you actually tried to implement the system, but you, for whatever reason, can't seem to get it to work, I will personally help you for free to get the system to work for you. And if I can't do that, then I will give you a 100% refund and you can keep all the training videos to yourself. So if you are ready to invest in yourself, let's schedule a chat. And then, so there should be a link somewhere below this video. Schedule a time and yeah, we can kind of talk through this a bit more. Thank you.